You don't have allowance. There's no air. Minister of Finance, if you are here, because I don't know, because we used to collect local revenue to facilitate local government operations. You decided that you want to have this money. Why don't you local government to collect this money so that you take charge in the
insurance industry? If there is anybody who is aggrieved, he can get at least justice. The marine, compulsory marine cargo, I want also to thank Uganda Revenue Authority and other stakeholders for at least moving with us up to where we are. There was, I think, one thing on exemptions. When you the wording of that provision, it exempts domestic, I think, domestic equipment or something like that. So we wanted clarity, and our technical team worked on it to see that we give clarity on it. And I am happy to say that people are buying marine on this platform. There are also those big ones who have approached us when they want either exemptions and other things, and we have held engagements. Some of them are the international or the donor agencies who bring in things, and they were looking at it in a different way. But we have given our guidance, and we think it will be taken. The monitoring of capital adequacy ratio. This is an ongoing process, ladies and gentlemen. You definitely know this must be for each one of us, because if we do not, then nobody will. And the 200% is what is the regulation. I want to encourage each one of you that if your company is below the 200% capital adequacy ratio, please, you better work on it. And the new regulatory environment we have, it gives much more responsibility to your board and you management. It doesn't give anybody else that responsibility. So let your boards, if it requires injection of capital, let your boards do it. And the sooner you do it, the better for you. When you don't do it, then you force us to do the hard decisions. And you look bad in your eyes. As if we want to close this company with the other. That is not our intention. But at the same time, we must do it. If we don't do it, we also don't want to lose our jobs. As you don't want to lose yours, I also don't want to lose my job. So I want to request that the capital adequacy ratios be worked on, and let each company ensure that it is above the 200 percentage which is required. Development partners, we have done many things which are intended to improve the industry. We have had teams working with World Bank, FSDU, Islamic Development Bank. Islamic Development Bank supported our team to go and understudy how takaful is done in Malaysia, and they have also promised more support. So for those of you who are intending to do takaful, the regulation is work in progress on takaful, and it is going to allow two things. One, it is going to allow your companies to have a window, separate window to underwrite takaful business. The second, it is going to allow new companies altogether to underwrite takaful. And takaful is Islamic or insurance based on Sharia principles. So when, and don't only look at Kabinet as the one who is going to, because some people had that concept that it is only for Muslims. No, it is something which will be very, very interesting even to Paul, even to John. This one in his packs. It is going to be. And we will continue to support market development initiatives through what we have been doing, and indeed we continue to invite more ideas which are intended to ensure that we improve
but of course it comes in as an alternative, or what you could call a plan B, when things do not happen, especially if you had a cover with a different with an insurance company with you, or if I told you ascertained to a premium at the end of it all. Insurance comes in quite many details. There is health insurance, then there's education insurance. This one is mainly insurance that parents are picking up lately, and then health insurance opens up to everybody. It does not have any limit to it. Then there is third-party insurance. I do believe that is the only insurance where the majority of Ugandans are signed to, and of course even those who are signed to still have issues with paying for it, because they say they still don't know why they are paying for insurance. I do believe one of the reasons as to why it's so is because we Ugandans tend to always want to put money into something that is going to be giving us immediate results at the end of it all, whether in the short run or in the long run. But remember, with insurance, it is just you taking up a cover of any uncertainty or something that will hit you in the long run or even in the short run, by the way. But with an insurance cover, it helps you cover it up, or it gives you at least a starting point. Once you've insured, for example, your vehicle against third-party insurance, once in case an accident does occur, it also includes the other third party who is a pedestrian moving on the road. But of course, very few Ugandans always want to take part in paying insurance, especially third-party insurance for their vehicles. It is not until they are arrested by traffic officers, or not until they're facing the authority, that is when they realize that, well, their third-party insurance has expired and it's insurance that is supposed to be paid annually. And of course, Insurance Regulatory Authority have come to a realization that not only do they train those who are going to be benefiting from the insurance, but also the people who set up these insurance premiums. Of course, there's short courses whereby certificates are awarded by the Insurance Regulatory Authority for the insuring officers as well, pretty much for them to give you more of the kind of insurance that you're going to receive. So you're not only receiving the product, but as well knowing the importance of this particular product. So that is exactly what the Insurance Regulatory Authority provides to the people out there, and of course the major stakeholders who are the people who pick up these insurance covers and premiums. And that is it for the business update this morning. This is Smart Main's Business. Now let's switch our eyes to the press review. All right, now with the press review, I have the Daily Monitor and the New Vision. With the Daily Monitor having a huge highlight saying government is set to recruit 2,000 teachers. Huge one. When you look at the situation here, apparently it says that the Ministry of Education and Sports is set to replace teachers who were readed out during the audit process earlier this year, and also seek to address gaps in the newly created seed schools and other institutions when next year starts up. So the government of Uganda is looking at recruiting teachers. Well, if you were to remember so well, back in the time, one of the reasons behind why most of these teachers were apparently laid off was because government had new guidelines that every teacher should at least have a degree now, because government was upgrading diplomas and degrees, not having certificates in education. So that is one of the reasons as to why most of the teachers who are only on certificate, others on diploma, ended up without their jobs. Now government is set to recruit 2,000 teachers to fill up the gaps in the newly created seed schools and other institutions when the next academic year kickstarts off in 2023. Now also there's a report regarding a family which has returned back to a demolished home after Christmas, and that is another report that you could definitely get from the Daily Monitor. Then there's an interview in here regarding the state of the nation in security. You can still have it with the Daily Monitor. And then the Deputy Speaker to Parliament, Thomas Thayebwa, has written to President Museveni over Persis Namuganza's censure. President Museveni has been notified of Parliament his intention to censor Honorable Persis Namuganza, the State Minister for Housing. Then, on the other hand, Over 50 NRA scouts go missing in Bunyagambu. That is another one. Now in Rakai, there is a very huge report regarding hundreds that have been displaced by the Rakai floods, according to what the Daily Monitor is highlighting this morning. And of course, you can only pick that from this particular situation of the press review. And these floods actually damage lots of things, which include property and, of course, not only costing people lives and all stuff like that, but still a very huge hindrance to economic development when it comes to the other situation. Now, also on the deal to do with Vinci Coffee, High Court dismisses case against the Vinci Coffee deal. This is another report in the Daily Monitor. And then also, as you can see, the other hand is coming in from the Daily Monitor. As we look through, is that campus raises flag on Naguru Nakawa mess. That is according to the Daily Monitor as well this morning. So you can pick more from that in today's Daily Monitor. And now, away from the Daily Monitor, we look at the New Vision as they highlighted the budget, how 50 trillion shillings will be shared amongst education, healthcare's lion's share in the 2023-2024 financial year, as we head into the second quarter of the current financial year 2022-2023. Now there's a budget, how the budget is going to be shared. Highly expected that next year's financial budget will be 50 trillion Ugandan shillings. Also, on the other hand, over 600 teachers deleted from payroll as government looks forward to recruiting 2,000 new teachers. And then also the International Monetary Fund has given Uganda an extra 880 billion Ugandan shillings. Why is this so? You will definitely get it from the New Vision. Then there is also another report regarding Chinese who have agreed to repair the Isimba Dam, according to the New Vision this morning. And also, court has dismissed coffee deal case. The Daily Monitor and the New Vision still highlighting on the same matter this particular morning in the press review. And with that, now let's cross over to the traffic updates this morning to see what is coming in from the movement of the vehicles. Maybe it's the time when many of the citizens are getting back to their workplaces to at least get prepared for 2023, especially those who had left to go to their villages or to their ancestral homes to celebrate the festivities. And of course, with the aftermath of Christmas, we get to realize that traffic is not that tight as early in the morning, but only during daytime and around midday or mid-morning hours. Now let's get to our traffic updates as we switch our eyes to the clock tower to see what is happening on ground from that side. Okay, and as we continue to drive your business, we shall be linking up with the team on ground to give us more of the traffic updates. But as I was taking you through what the New Vision has this morning in regards to the business update, what I did mention of the financial year 2022-2023, a breakdown of it is in here with the New Vision, how the 50 trillion shillings is likely to be shared. The current budget is 47.1 trillion Ugandan shillings. That is for the financial year 2022 to 2023. And of course, now here, education and health are likely to take the lion's share in the next financial year. So far, the first quarter of the financial year 2022-2023 is done and dusted. So that means we are waiting for the second quarter, which kicks off January 1st till June 30th. And as we look at the situation here, for example, if you look at health and education, well, health has already been one of the key priorities always in the financial year allocations during the budget breakdown. Health and especially security being one of the key priorities. And this time around, you get to realize that health, again, is taking the lion's share of the budget, and also inclusive of education. Education is one of those particular ones that the government is also centering amongst the ideas of fostering development within the country's economy. And that is one of the reasons as to why you get to realize that the education sector plus health, and of course, you'll never rule out security in the budget allocations. But well, besides that, let's head to the traffic outlets and see what you look at the situation of following up on the other structures that are laid on board, you get to as well realize it is not that simple, or it is not coming in that easy for especially the people who are engaging in some of these situations. But of course, the flyover construction halted a little bit, not halted because of funding, but due to the festive season break, and some of the contractors are off duty. But of course, this particular continue as the government intends that at least by the end of 2023, that flyover will be ready for operations. Well, of course, as you can see from that angle, vehicles coming in from Zambia, still not a busy clock tower situation. If you're to look at that, it's only the taxis that are on the streets. Most of the traffic on the road is now the taxis. Very few personal vehicles, and with the taxis also, you can see that most of them are not filled up to capacity. One of the key observations I did realize starting from Monday, that was on Boxing Day, till to date, it's only very few taxis that will pass by you with filled up capacity. Now that particular taxi is heading to the Usafi area, but as you can see, most of them are heading out of town, but some of them are empty at the end of it all. So you get to realize there's some vehicles coming in from Zambia, Chibuli. That is where you can see most of the traffic coming in from, and of course also the other side of Chibuye, that is for those coming in from Entebbe Road and Makindye areas. So that is where most of the traffic is. But of course the traffic officers are already on the roads, but you can as well realize that it is becoming so easy for them this week to manage this traffic. Only maybe when it comes to the fact that people don't have the rightful certifications to be on the road. For example, if you have no driver's license, you do not have your third-party insurance in it, and well, that would be difficult. And for the border riders, you can see the helmets are on, and of course the reflectors are on. That is a very huge directive that the borders have yet to defy. So that means you can get to realize it is swiftly moving on so far. So for those who are thinking of moving into town, it does look like it's not so busy yet on the road, so you shouldn't be worried about the time that you would move. But of course, it's highly expected that later on in the mid-morning, especially around afternoon times, it may catch up, because that is when most of the people during this week of day offs get to hit the city. As we prepare for 2023 to come ahead of us, that is it for the traffic updates. You're watching Smart Moons Business. After the break, when I do return, I have Caribou East Africa and the SMB International News. Good morning.